Okay, I think it is time for another garden tour. I will be quick in this garden because not a lot has changed since last time. There is still a lot I need to do in here. Like I need to still dig up this asparagus patch. Obviously I have a lot of weeding to catch up on yet. The irises are being beautiful. I did get a bunch of hanging planters hung up. The clematis are blooming and look fabulous. I have a couple of tomatillos out here now. Sweet peas are going. Look at how pretty they are. These tubs, maybe I fixed this one because I messed with it a little bit. It's not draining. So I have not planted that one yet, but I have planted that one. I need to fix the drainage issue before I plant the other one. I finally went out, see, hanging baskets. Got my cosmos that had self-seeded out here, kind of tucked in along everything all along the edge. The garlic is looking beautiful. I started bringing in the composted cow manure. I'm going to kind of use that to mulch in between them and it'll act as fertilizer, but that's not a very fun project, so decided to do something else. All of the dahlias are out and beautiful. This is one of the shooting star dahlias from Floret Farms. This is a cactus dahlia from Baker Creek Seeds. That's a patch of weeds I need to take care of, and I can't till right now. We've had so much rain. I can't till because this is clay. It's got to be a little bit dried out or it'll just get stuck because clay. I did get these 2 beds planted. My peonies. I think I'm actually going to get nice peony blooms from here this year. There's so many flowers tucked in here and weeds like locust tree. This area I have pretty filled out with stuff. Lots of poppies. My son planted some sunflowers in here. A couple of them have popped up, but I have a bunch more in a tray because I figured if his got eaten by birds, I would replace them because he really loves the sunflower patch. On the back, you can see, like outside, I have started, we've got, this lovely sand pile full of big rocks. I was able to finish my rock path in here. I need some sort of border along the whole outside of the garden to try and keep some of the grass and weeds from coming in because it's going to be a battle anyways with the size of this garden, but having nothing between them makes it so much worse. So starting here just because it's really close to the pile. Really the corner I need to do the worst is way down there by my iris because the grass gets in terribly. Gladiolas coming up. Ranunculus look good. I have all of my dahlias out. So that's awesome. Yay dahlias. I need to tie a few more up. I did my sunflower patch here the last few years and I decided this year I wanted the dahlias here because a lot of the dahlias need to be tied. And then I have this handy fence to tie them to, so I don't need to worry about staking them all. The tomato trellis finally did get moved. This one was on the other side, right up kind of against where the manure pile was. So we moved it over and it's about double the width between them. Obviously I have my tomatoes out. The basil is out as well. I need to get the marigolds out yet. And again, with the weeding, we've just got so much going on. I have not been able to do everything. Green stalk is 90% planted. I've got a couple on the top here I need to fill in and a couple on the bottom. But other than that, they're fine. Yes, giant manure mulch pile. Roses that are getting annihilated by caterpillars. Empty space I need to fill. I'm kind of waiting for the good weather to plant more things out and trying to catch up on a bunch of other projects. So as always, the garden is behind, but even with that, I'm still pretty happy with how it looks. It's chaos, but it's a slightly controlled chaos. So I'll show you. This is where I need, see the grass just comes right up in here so bad. This area I'm not worried about because it's going to get dug out here soon when we run in the power lines for the new house. But it's so bad. I'm going to have to bring several rocks over here because if I can block this corner out, that will be helpful. Now we're gonna go down to the secret garden. I did do a little bit of work in there yesterday, so you can kind of see a few of the things tucked in there, but it's, I mean, it could be called a secret garden because it's a secret where everything is in there. I'm the only one that knows because it's a disaster. But this garden is the absolute lowest priority of all of the gardens. So don't expect this one to even really look like a garden for probably another couple years. And the kids' tree fort awesome. I built that in a day. I need a roof for it, but so yeah, this is a garden, guys, believe it or not. Okay, sorry about the fingers in the way. I had to pull my little stake. So, a lot of weeds and a lot of grass. I will quickly show you what has been planted in here. There's a sedum, there's some bee balm. Over here there's another sedum, more this is anise, hyssop, more bee balm here. There are several elderberry plants. I brought some of my extra lilies in here. There is hollyhock and catnip. See the hollyhock down there. Some extra herbs. Jungle mess of nothing. Here's a grapevine that I need to transplant somewhere else. Over here I have some extra comfrey, more catnip. In here more elderberry, more rhubarb. This is all just mess. This is my little herb corner I started down here. Obviously lots of weeds as well. I stuck some of my extra herbs that I started and some extra flowers in here. My mulberry tree is alive, so I do need to dig him up and transplant that somewhere else. But I'd like you guys to take a second to appreciate this grass in here. This is shoulder height on me, so it's tall grass. I'm chopping it and using it as its own mulch in here because I don't need shoulder height grass in here. So this is a thornless raspberry. Here's one of my peonies I transferred down here. Over here we have my magnolia. My brain shut off for a minute there. My saucer magnolia that I got from Tristar Plants. He's protected in here. My strawberries are in here. This is where they were transplanted to. And they're actually doing pretty good. I'm going to have to get the net and cover them sooner rather than later here. Down in that corner I have a couple more herbs and stuff. But yeah, that's everything in this garden. It really is a secret garden because it's a disaster. I have been bringing down lots of horse manure. Peaches, one of the horses, is on stall rest right now because he hurt his leg. So every day when I clean out his stall, I'm just bringing the manure down here because I'm kind of using it in the pathways to completely smother out some of the weeds for me so I can at least get in here. Yeah, that's the secret garden. Now we will go up to the front flower beds. All right, it's getting a little windy because it wants to rain again, so hopefully you can hear me, but I have spent a lot of time filling these front beds out, and honestly I've kept these ones the best weeded. They're, you know, right at the front of the property when people pull in. Are they perfectly weeded? Absolutely not. They never will be, but I did put a lot of time in to try and make them look at least halfway decent. So that peony is going to bloom this year. That's exciting. The flowers look lovely. And the kids and I came around and did a mix of zinnia and cosmo seeds in random empty spaces yesterday. So this is going to try and block the wind. This is going to fill out nice. Put some of my extra snapdragons down there. I kind of stuck extra things all over, so I don't even really remember what I have put where. We have these wild strawberries, which I love them, so I leave them. And I did get the car area filled in. I mean, filled in as much as it's going to be right now. Then the kids and I sprinkled more seeds in there, but the clumps are kind of like wildflower seed mix. So the ones I'd started in the greenhouse in the big tray, I just cut it up into chunks and plop them in here. And then there are some black-eyed Susans in there, and like I said, the kids and I sprinkled some zinnia seeds in there. But this whole car area from here over, let me see if I can zoom out. Ta-da! This I all filled in this spring. None of this, I mean the car was here, but this was all grass, so I spent I think 3 or 4 days just digging out the grass, and then brought in plants, and then I've kind of come back through and tried to edge it, which I could edge it a bit better yet for Dan's mowing, but for year 1 in here, I think this is pretty good, and it should fill out because a lot of the stuff in here will spread, so next year it won't be so much empty space that I have to maintain weeding on. And like I said, the kids and I put zinnia seeds all in between all these empty spaces, so the perennials won't fill out right now, but we'll have zinnias in here in the meantime. And I stuck lilies in here, and you saw there's lupine on the other side, and you know we have tons of deer and rabbits, and by tons I mean hundreds. And so far for the last, I mean the lilies I just brought out here this year, but I've got the irises on the other side, a lot of those things that deer and bunnies like to eat. I'm probably jinxing myself now, but so far they've left it alone, and I think in large parts it's because I keep them surrounded by lots of smelly plants that the deer and bunnies don't want to eat. So they're kind of tucked in and hidden. This side is a lot smaller and a lot more flushed out. I did stick a few new things over here. Oh, the wind is terrible. A few seedlings. So, see, snapdragon's tucked down in there. Some poppies. Lots and lots of hollyhock here. And the main reason is because they do this. And what weed is going to grow in there? Not very many, I can tell you that. A little bit at the beginning of the season, but once the hollyhocks get big, they pretty much block out everything. See, I get like a random piece of grass here or there, but we just did seeds here for zinnias. There's my bee balm. Bee balm's pretty notorious for getting powdery mildew. I'm surprised it's getting it out here because this is a full sun spot, but it has been wet for the last 2 weeks. So this is all going to be zinnias in there. There was a bunch of hollyhock seedlings in here, but I did like the contrast of having hollyhocks up there and zinnias back here last year, so I just treated all those hollyhocks like they were weeds and took them out. There's a baby sunflower. There were more, but the squirrels or something ate it. I do want to try and tuck a few more sunflowers in there yet, but that's the gardens. I hope you guys enjoy my tour. I try to take it a little faster than I normally do.